Hey, what's up my Dragon Legion? How y'all been? Solar Dragoons, your eyes are not deceiving us, and yes, this is what you see. This is a Kagero Seal Dragon deck profile. Now, this is the type of deck that I've been trying to work on for quite some time. I haven't had really a straight up plan of how to put a deck together up till like a few months ago, and after months of planning and after working out some things here and there and buying some cards here and there, I'll make some trades here and there, I finally got together a Kagero Seal Dragon deck. Now, keep in mind the deck is not yet finalized. There's still a few things I'm going to work out in particular with the deck right here after I'm done playing. And I haven't played that many games with the deck right here yet. I've just got this deck 2 days after this video, well, no, pardon me, 2 days before this video is uploaded as such. So there is going to be some things I'm going to work out. There is some gameplay I got to go through before I finalize this deck right here. But for what's worth, I'm really happy with the way how the deck gets right now at the moment. And with that being said, let's get right straight to the deck right now. Shall we, Dragoons? Alright, before I go any further, for those who do not know what Steel Dragons are, Steel Dragons is a Kagero subclan, is a subclan for the Kageros. The goal and objective of this deck right here is kill off as much of your opponent's non-grade 2s, as regards as much as you possibly can, and force them out, bring out their grade 2s, so when you bring out your grade 3 Vanguards, you'll either have a certain ability that gives you a certain advantage over your opponent, or you'll have the ability where you can kill all your opponent's grade 2s all at once. That's the goal, the objective of the deck right here. So, and this is how Steel Dragons are supposed to run right here. Alright. Start off with the starting Vanguard is the one Terror Cloth. Terror Cloth is probably like is actually very shockingly a very good starting Vanguard for Steel Dragons. He's Forerunner, so obviously when you ride top of him as he's your starting Vanguard, you move into your other rear guard circles. Unlike most Forerunners, where you have to boost with them in order to get your certain effects off, except for a few in particular, Terror Cloth can immediately go off with his effect without waiting for you to boost or anything. His ability is Counterblast 1 Steel Dragon your damage, and put this unit in soul, I think it says. Yeah, put this unit in your soul. Yes, put this unit in your soul. When you do this, you retire one of your opponent's rear guards, and then your opponent looks to tap 4 cards, and then calls a grade 2 among them. Now, this definitely helps you out with your strategies. This guy helps you get your stuff going, rolling pretty fast, especially when you get a good hand going, all that such. The ability to just retire an annoying rear guard right out of nowhere, and then force your opponent out a grade 2, helps you out with a lot of huge things, and helps you just get down grinding really well. And that's all. That's obviously the starting Vanguard for the trigger lineup. Now, here we are. We have obviously the 4 heals, because there are 4 heal triggers. You kind of have to play your 4 heals with the way how Vanguard is right now at the moment. And normally when it comes to Vanguard decks, I normally play 6 crit and 6 draw. For this build right here, I'm actually going to be doing only 4 crits with 4 stands and 4 draws right here. Now, the reason why I'm doing this right here over the 6/6 like I normally do is because with the way how this whole subclan mechanic normally works, you normally want as much you normally want to dedicate your deck to that subclan in particular, because when you're playing a subclan deck, most of your or your good subclan cards at least, normally require your damage to have as much of those subclans or your damage as much as possible, so you can be able to go all of your effects as possible. So you kind of want to dedicate your Steel Dragons to your Steel Dragons as much as you possibly can, so you can be more likely to go off with your limit break effects and all that necessary stuff right here. Now, if you want to take out the stand trigger guys for other critical triggers and other draw triggers that are not Steel Dragons, that's fine. For right now, I'm trying out the build where I do play this right here, and hopefully this works out for a while. So the 4-4-4 is what I'm doing right now at the moment. And that's all I'm really doing for the trigger lineup. For the grade 1 lineup, we have, of course, your 4 perfect guards. Don't need to explain why this is so important in this deck right here. And next we have 4 copies of Steel Dragon Fennel. He's just your basic typical grade 1 7K with the 3000 attack hero power, all that such. Nothing really too special. He's pretty cool where he's at right there. And next we have 4 copies of Steel Dragon Kaiser. This guy is actually a really good card right here. When you first call him to a rearguard circle while your opponent has at least 1 grade 1, you can immediately pitch a card. You don't need a draw card right here. Now, this is definitely a very big step up compared to Dragon Monk Gojo, whereas Gojo where you were forced to either use the ability, but if you use the ability, you would not be allowed to attack with him unless such boost with him unless necessary such. While this guy right here, if you call him, you get to pitch a card, draw a card, and still use him as a booster at the same time, which is pretty much good right here. And also, it's definitely a very good 7K booster, which is always pretty appreciated, pretty good, and helps you get your stuff going as fast as possibly can. And lastly, of course, we played 2 copies of Steel Dragon Genbar. Now, Genbar right here, where all he is your special Vanguard booster. Your idea of Vanguard is going to be either Blockade or Blockade Inferno. So this guy definitely becomes a very reliable ally for your Vanguard right there. So he just makes your Vanguard a little bit more stronger and help you get your stuff going. And Steel Dragon, as far as I know, don't need anything that falls to soul. So you're really paying, in a way, you're really paying nothing just to give your Vanguard an additional 6,000 power, which is really appreciative and helps your Vanguard get in those huge attacks on the Vanguard as fast as possibly can. And that's it for the grade 1s. For the grade 2s, I'm playing 2 copies of, no, not 2, pardon me, 3 max copies of Steel Dragon Kagero. Kagero is pretty much the Berserk Dragon of the deck right here. But he's really good, especially what the deck is trying to do all right here. For those who do not know, his ability is when this unit is placed on Vanguard or Rearguard Circle, if you have a Steel Dragon Vanguard, Kagero Vanguard, you may counterblast one Steel Dragon damage. When you do, retire 1 Rearguard of your choice. Then your opponent looks up to the top 4 cards. Yes, top 4 cards of his or her decks and call 1 grade 2 among them right here. Now, what's so great about this guy compared to Berserk Dragon is that 1, you only need to counterblast 1 card to use his effect. 2, he can kill any guy. Doesn't matter if it's grade 3, doesn't matter if it's grade 2, doesn't matter if it's grade 1 or whatever. Unlike Berserk Dragon, where he only killed grade 2 or below guys, this guy can kill any rear guard by just a cost of counterblast of 1 card. While granted, possibly your opponent may get a grade 2 after you use this guy's effect, but it's no big deal because, again, your grade 3 Vanguard is going to take advantage of the fact that your opponent's going to have more grade 2s, and this guy is going to help out this deck a lot. And next we have max copies of Jackguard. He's just your basic grade 2, 10. Grade 9 special attacker for most decks these days. He's pretty good, so he's 12k attacker on his own, which is pretty good right here. And then 3 copies of Steel Dragon, Hunger Hell Dragon, just your basic grade 2, 10k vanilla, for beatdown power less such. And also your ideal Vanguard, or him or this guy is your ideal Vanguard have instead of wasting this guy all of a sudden. With the way how Steel Dragons are right now, by having an actual beatdown power like this guy on your side, you definitely retain huge field presence on your opponent, and you definitely retain a huge amount of power pressures down your opponent to the point where when you attack with these guys right here, your opponent may not have too many cards to guard off your attacks, and you just get in there with some huge, massive power every day long. So this is why I'm playing the grade 2s the way they are. So that's it for grade 2 lineup. And for the grade 3 lineup, now this is kind of a really cool way of how the grade 3 is right now at the moment. And here how the grade 3 is right now at the moment. For the grade 3s, I'm playing only 2 copies of Steel Dragon and Kagero. Now he's a really actually pretty good grade 3 for the deck right here. Now for those who do not know what he does, he has Limit Break 4. When this unit attacks, if your opponent has at least 1 grade 2, this unit gets plus 5,000 power for each grade 2 your opponent controls. And if your opponent controls at least 2 grade 2s, this card automatically gets 1 more critical. So what this means is since you're going to be doing a lot of effects that falls, retiring your opponent's non-grade 2s and forcing out the grade 2s of your opponent, even let's say your opponent only has 2 grade 2s. This guy, by himself, with no power boost or anything, is going to be swinging down your opponent with 21 power with also 2 crits. And that's not even counting who's boosting him and what you may get on your twin drive check right out of nowhere. Now, it's not the most useful ability, but considering the fact that this guy can become a 21 plus higher beater with 2 critical out of nowhere, it's very huge and very good. And he also has a bonus ability of counterblast 1 card, choose one of your lock cards and unlock it. So if you're up against some sort of Link Joker player and they lock your stuff, just ride into this guy, and if you have the card to pay for his effect, just unlock some of your cards, and you can retain back your field presence, and just attack that Link Joker player with some huge amount of power that your opponent will not expect, and some huge amount of resources that your opponent will not expect out of nowhere. So this is really good right here, especially when you're against Steel Dragons, which is definitely good because one of my friends down in my locals, he's playing and putting together Link Jokers, so this is very good. I was able to pick up this card right here. Next, we have 3 copies of a card that no one may not want to play for understandable reasons, but I like him, and I have 3 copies of Steel Dragon Blockade. Now, Blockade is actually a very good card. Now, first of all, you don't even have, it's not even a limit break ability. So during the late game or whatever, when you get this guy as your Vanguard out of nowhere, even if your opponent is playing cautious and you don't have too many cards in your damage, that's no problem because this guy's ability is not a limit break ability. So when you ride into this guy right here, you can immediately stop your opponent from intercepting. Now, for those who do not know what he does, his effect is during your turn, all your opponent's units cannot intercept. So as I mentioned earlier, the Steel Dragons do have abilities where they bring out the grade 2s a lot. So when that happens, you don't have to worry about your opponent intercepting too much because you'll have this guy on the board. So when that happens, you can just go right at the Vanguard, just hit your opponent's Vanguard with everything you got, and hopefully you'll either win the game right there, or you'll force out your opponent's resources just to block out whatever remaining attacks you have right there. So this guy definitely gets in there very, very well. And just to let you all know, this is a Vanguard ability. So his effect only goes off if he's your Vanguard. So let's say if he's your rear guard and you have this guy as your Vanguard right here. If he's your rear guard, he will not be able to use his effect because he is not your Vanguard. He is your rear guard. That's why they have that little Vanguard circle. But again, the fact that this is not a limit break ability and you can stop your opponent from intercepting is very powerful and very excruciating and devastating right there. And of course, to finish off the grade 3 lineup, we have 3 copies of Hellfire, Steel Dragon, Blockade, Inferno right here. Probably your ideal boss Steel Dragon of the entire deck right here. Now, for those who do not know or do not remember what he does, Steel Dragon, Blockade, Inferno has Limit Break 4, counterblast 2 cards with Steel Dragons in its card name, retire all your opponent's grade 2 rear guards, and this unit gets plus 10 of the power. If you have a card named Steel Dragon Blockade in this unit, so this card gets plus 2,000 power. So what this does is after you force out all your opponent's grade 2s, but with your other card effects and such, what you do is you ride into this guy, use ability, counterblast 2 Steel Dragons, and retire all your opponent's grade 2s, waste up their resources, and you don't win this turn. By the time you're done swinging at your opponent with what you got right here, your opponent will not have too many resources to rely back on. And by next turn or so, you can just devastate your opponent with so much power right there. Now, if you can't perform the cross ride, it's not the end of the world. Or if you do go off with this guy's effect or such, it's not the end of the world. You still have this guy's amazing ability to gain 10,000 power and kill 2 rear guards out of nowhere all day long. So this guy still gets in there pretty well, but if you do perform a cross ride, it's always pretty appreciative because it does give you that extra 1,300, that extra 2,000 power, which will hopefully give your guy the extra amount of defense your guy will need, so you can be able to block off your opponent's attacks a lot easier, and just get in there with some huge, massive attacks all day long right there. And yeah, that's why I'm playing with the way the deck is right now at the moment. Alright there, Dragoons, that right there was my Kagero Steel Dragon deck profile. I'm very glad I was able to put the deck together. A few more things I do plan on doing with the deck right here. I definitely do plan on picking up one more of this guy right here. I really like this guy right here. He's here. If I can definitely pick up one more of him, I should be just fine for quite some time. I do have one more of him, but I'm waiting until I pick up another one of him, of Hellfire, before I do anything of that stuff right there. But all in all, as how the deck is right now at the moment, I'm very proud that I finally got the deck together, and I'm very proud of how the way how the deck looks currently at the moment. And in the near future, I definitely do plan on making some odd changes to the deck when I get the chance. And with that being said, let me know what your Dragoons think about this deck profile in the comment section down below, and I'll see you Dragoons around. Hope you Dragoons enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and a favorite if you did. It really helps out a lot. And subscribe today to become part of the Dragon Legion Alliance. And I'll see you Dragoons in another day. Christian Dragoon, signing out. Peace.